What's up, guys? Here we go. We're here for another episode of Chat with Gunner. I'm Gunner. That's Ethan. Can't see Ethan, but I'm Gunner. You can see me. Ethan's a little under the weather today. Got a little.
He's a little sick.
Got a little COVID backlog. Like that extended COVID is what he told me he has, right?
Long COVID.
Long COVID. Yep. So we're jumping in here early today. We're doing a lot of brainstorming. Like I said, we're going through a process where we're kind of rebranding, kind of not rebranding, but just coming up with new content. Got a lot of time on our hands, trying to be a little bit more creative and get some more stuff out there to everybody. So last week's episode was a heavy sports card investing episode. Me and Marcus put out our first pack opening, which came out as well. So, other than that, not too much going on in the world of us currently right now when it comes to entertainment and sports and gambling and all those fun things we like to talk about. We do what?
It's not like the Super Bowl is this weekend.
Super Bowl is this weekend, and we can definitely break that down a little bit. But we touched a lot last week on, the whole trucking situation and just issues in general when it comes to kind of the whole political scope, the whole sports card deal. I mean, we talked for 2 hours, right? So now I do believe that these things might need to get a little bit more organized when it comes to what we're doing, where we're going, what content is being provided. I get that. I hear you. I do hear you. But another thing, it's really hard to do that unless you kind of have like an action plan or a course or a lesson or something you're trying to get across to people. And this is not necessarily a educational channel for the most part. It's more of a channel of just like getting on here, shooting shit, having some fun, talking about some topics, seeing where it goes. It's kind of what we've played out. Now, it's kind of up to me now to put out the interview podcast. I've been lining up some of those that I'm going to try to put out just throughout the week, other than being in the studio. But the studio is the foundation to this podcast, and it will continue to be the foundation. The studio as a whole, not the Chat with Gunner aspect of it, but just the studio in general. Dumpster Fire still? Okay, so Dumpster Fire Studios, a lot of momentum picking up here. Been talking to Chris before I got into the seat right here. A bunch of good things happening. Really excited about everything that's happening with the studio. I have a couple ideas I'd like to throw with him. Me and Chris are pretty good friends, so we'll probably work some things out to where we can kind of partner up on some stuff, which kind of leads back into some courses of some sort. And some things that I've been learning here recently that I would like to give back to people that are not fortunate enough to go learn these things, to get educated in these topics. And these topics are not like, hey, who won the war in this year and memorize this so you can make a good grade on that. No, it's not that type of material. This material is material that can make you money. And that's what people want. People want skills that can make them money. That's what's valuable these days. That's going to be what's valuable in the future. That's where education system is going in general. So you can look back at this video in 10 years and go, oh, so university doesn't really matter anymore? Yeah, it really doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you went to Harvard, you went to Yale, if you went to Vanderbilt, or you went to UTC, or you didn't go to school at all. Actually, the person that didn't go to school at all is probably making more money than the people who went to all those universities, whether it's just a bachelor's degree, a master's degree, a high-level degree, an Ivy degree, whatever it might be. So I truly do believe we're onto something there when it comes to getting courses that have skills that relate directly into your ROI and give you money in your pocket because you learned it, you did it, and now you can go replicate it, duplicate it, and put that process into place. So, but to get to the entertaining side of all these things, the Super Bowl is this weekend. The Super Bowl is the Bengals and the Rams. I think I said on the last podcast, if you would have said the Bengals and the Rams were in the Super Bowl, I wouldn't believe you. I still don't really believe you, but it's cool. Joe Burrow, Matthew Stafford. Joe Burrow is the trending topic right now. He's one of the top guys just out there. If you look at Google Trends for the week, I'd say Joe Burrow is one of the top. He's an interesting story. He's polarizing. People are taking to him, and people want him to win, which is making a lot of people pick the Bengals in the Super Bowl because they want Joe Burrow to win. They like him. They think he's the coolest thing since Joe Namath, right? I agree. I like Joe Burrow. I'm a fan. I'm buying into the hype. I'm getting on the wagon. Hell, I bought his rookie card. Got a PSA 10 in his rookie card. So I'm hoping he wins as well. But that being said, the Rams have one of the top defenses, one of the top offenses, a veteran quarterback that has been everywhere except the Super Bowl. So he's due one. They're playing in L.A., where the Rams play. They've got a ridiculous defense. I'm talking about a nasty defense. And you would think they're the heavy favorites. Vegas has them at -4. The over-under is at 48.5. I put out a LinkedIn poll today about who I thought, wanted to know who people thought was going to win. I put just Bengals, Rams. Didn't put the spread or anything on there. Just who's going to win, Bengals or Rams. Before I checked it, right before we came into the podcast, it's like 56% to 44% people think the Bengals are going to win. And this is the highest polled poll I've had so far on LinkedIn, which is crazy because all the stuff's been about business and everybody wants to talk about sports, which is cool. I get it. So, the public is saying the Bengals as far as in my echo chamber. I don't know, man. Last year the Chiefs were the favorite, but you also was going up against Tom Brady. You can't count out Tom Brady. He's been there, done that. He'd won it 6 times previous. It's hard to beat Tom Brady. So kind of in a way, the Chiefs, it's a coin flip. It doesn't really matter. It's the Chiefs win, they're supposed to win. If Tom Brady and the Bucs win, well, it's Tom Brady. But I think this game's going to come down to which quarterback is able to keep from getting sacked the most amount of times, keep from getting pressured the most amount of times, able to make good decisions and not turn the ball over. I know that sounds very elementary coming from a guy that played ball, and you'd think I'd have a little bit more in-depth analysis. Sorry. That's strictly just the X's and O's of this game. Both teams, are good offensively. Both teams are good defensively. Guess what? They're in the Super Bowl. Of course they are. They're the number 1 and number 2 team. We just don't know which one's number 1 and which one's number 2 yet. Joe Burrow, if he wins this, he'll be the first player ever in the history of the NFL to win a Heisman Trophy, a national championship, and a Super Bowl. So I personally think that's meant to be. And if you're booking this out as in like pro wrestling and you think the NFL is a storyline, that's really cool. If you're looking at it the other way, the Rams are playing at home in the Super Bowl. You'd think they would win. Matthew Stafford's been playing for 13 years, hasn't won a Super Bowl. Hadn't even won a playoff game till this year. So, 2 different ways of thoughts there. Obviously, at -4, I like the Bengals +4. I like the Bengals +4. Do I like the Bengals to win straight up? I said yes in the poll. I'm not confident yet on being able to pull the trigger on them winning straight up. I'm getting pretty confident on them being able to win the spread +4. Field goal, I think Joey Cool keeps them within a field goal. I think he even has a shot to win the game at the end. But we'll see. I mean, it could be an absolute blowout like last year. You don't know. Football, man. You would think it's the NFL, 2 best teams. It's going to be a close game. Most Super Bowls are close. Last year being one of the exceptions. But I don't know, Ethan. I don't know if I want to just say, hey, take this game, and I want to, ride that out. But I think maybe we have to. I don't think we can just sit here and say, this is who you should play. I think we've got to just come on out. That way we have a Chat with Gunner CWG clip of us saying, this is the pick for the Super Bowl. Ride with it. Hope it works.
If it does, great. If it doesn't, we delete that clip immediately.
That's right. Just like Gary V and Vegas Dave and all those boys, man. Just like all those gamblers that give advice and then something doesn't work. Those videos don't get posted, but all the stuff that does work, those get shared many a times.
Oh, yeah.
So if you had to back me up into a corner, this is it. You can timestamp this. We all know where we're at on this, but so we'll just go with it here. Super Bowl this Sunday. If you had to back me into a corner, I had to give you all my money and say, this is the bet that I would go with in the Super Bowl. Here it is. You ready? Bengals +4. I think it's a good play. Bengals +4, Super Bowl. I think the game stays at least within a field goal. It's the two best teams. Joey Cool. I'm riding the train. Matthew Stafford. He's a choke artist. Just can't help it. Literally, no pun intended. Choke artist. I think that the Rams have control of the game for 57 minutes. They're in the lead. If not in the lead, in control. And I think Matthew Stafford makes a boneheaded decision in the fourth quarter at some point that's going to cost them. Fumble, not getting lined up on time, delay a game, interception, something. Something's going to happen with Matthew Stafford in that 4-minute window. Joey B is going to have the ball, just because it's how the NFL is like pro wrestling. He's going to have the ball in LA against the Rams with a chance to be the only player in the history of the NFL, history of football, to win a Super Bowl, a national championship, and a Heisman Trophy. And that's going to be the play. Is he going to be the next Tom Brady? Or is he going to maybe do it next time and be a bust this time? I don't know. But if I had to give you a bet to go with, if you can get it at minus 110, go Bengals +4. That's my play, Super Bowl play.
You've got to talk about Von Bell. If this is Chat with Gunner, you got to talk. I mean, Chattanooga native.
I mean, yeah. So Von's with the Bengals, right? I don't know much about Von other than just his name being from Chattanooga, going to Ridgeland. Played with some guys that I know. He was younger than me a little bit, so we didn't really cross paths. We've literally spoke to each other one time. He was friends with a buddy of mine that went to East Ridge Middle School with me, who ended up going to Ridgeland, Michael Porter, which actually became Michael Bowman, the little brother to Adarius Bowman, who went to Oklahoma State. Michael Bowman signed with Alabama. We grew up together, played ball with each other. Terrell Freeman went to Ridgeland, grew up with him, played ball with him. So all those guys, Vaughn was younger. He was a younger brother of that whole crew. He kind of hung out with the younger Bowman. Anyways, I don't know much about him. I honestly was always under the impression that, right place, right time in the recruiting trail, went to the right camp, in the right family, knows the right people, blah, 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 blah. He's a good ball player, man. So, I've watched him play. He's a good ball player. He has great instincts, great knack for the ball. That's why he was drafted the way he was drafted. That's why he went to Ohio State and did Ohio State the way he did. I think he won national championships there, if I'm not mistaken. So, listen, obviously he's got it. He's a captain for the Bengals on the defensive side of the ball.
He also was the one that intercepted in overtime in the playoff or the championship game.
Oh, okay, so I didn't know that.
So he's the one that picked off Mahomes.
Oh, wow.
In the championship game.
Okay, so listen, hey man, anytime people from Chattanooga are doing something well, we're going to highlight it. Thanks for bringing that up. I forgot all about him, to be honest with you. But, yeah, Von Bell. So, you know what? Now I'm going Bengals strictly because of the Chattanooga ties. Actually, there's a Chattanooga tie in the Rams, too, though.
Which one?
So there's a player playing for the Rams, just somebody that played for Chattanooga. I don't know who. But then Carter Crutchfield, who was a GA, not a GA, but like an offensive assistant or a football assistant, something like that at UTC. He actually went to Tennessee Tech, but at UTC, he's on staff with the Rams as like control or not equipment, but like some type of like quality control or offensive operations, something. Like,
that's cool, but he's not picking off Patrick Mahomes.
No, he's not. He's not picking off Mahomes to get him to the Super Bowl. So that's really cool. So I'm all in on the Bengals then. There it is. I'm all in on the Bengals. Like I said, Joey Burrow's rookie card that goes up in value if this hits. I'll go ahead. I'm throwing my money on the Bengals as well, +4, and then hopefully they can get the dub as well. What else we got going on in sports? Anything else? They got the Olympics going on.
Can we talk about the Olympics?
Well, I don't know much about it because I haven't been paying attention, but I did see a screenshot where it's the Winter Olympics and it's like in the middle of a downtown nuclear plant. Is this wrong or correct?
So it's the ski slope, and it's right next to a nuclear power plant.
Yeah, that's stupid.
It's one of the like most condensed, like if you had to distill this Olympics down to one picture, that's gonna be it. It's in Beijing. There's so many people. That's a massive city. Like, we think of, like, L.A. as a massive city.
Yeah.
You don't realize, like, China is the United States times, like, almost 1,000. As far as how densely populated the places are.
Sure.
So, Beijing is huge. There's a lot of places they could have put that ski slope, and they chose right next to a nuclear power plant. And they showed it on TV.
Oh.
It could have been a totally different angle.
Man, I don't understand. So, like, the whole thing about what happened, and explain to me.
I probably can.
The Chinese athlete that's from China, but representing America?
No.
Okay.
There may be one. I'm not 100% sure.
Who's the one they're making fun of?
There's one that we're making fun that a lot of people are making fun of. She's a skier. She's, I think, #1 in the world.
Okay.
As far as what she's going to be able to do.
Okay.
She, I think, is a Chinese American. Father or mother is Chinese. The other one is American.
Okay.
And she was born here. Grew up here. Still has her heritage, obviously, to China. Becomes a skier. Becomes almost world renowned for being a skier. Very, very good at her craft. And then before this Olympics, I think it was in 2020, because that was the last time the Olympics happened. I think it was the Summer Olympics. But she had announced, I think maybe in 2019 then, she had announced, I'm going to be playing and competing for China. It was kind of brushed under the rug. Nobody really cared. But now it's the Olympics. People care again. So a lot of people are making fun of her because, well, she's American. She got all of the privileges, if you want to say it like that, of being American.
Uh-huh.
She's the best in the world. And let's be honest here, she probably did that from a lot of the money that her parents made here in America.
Uh-huh.
And now she wants to compete for China because that's her heritage. I don't disagree with that. She can do whatever the hell she wants. I mean, me being half Asian, half white, I can understand where the sentiment comes from. However, that also takes a lot of balls to just basically say, if I'm going to compete for a country, I'm not going to do it for the one that built me up. I'm going to do it for the one that I have family ties to. They say blood is thicker than water, but you don't drink blood. That's the saying. It's not the original saying, but that's what I always say.
So what's the thing about Pelosi and not letting the athletes have a voice?
So Pelosi said, our American athletes, when you go over to China, shouldn't make political statements because we do not want to anger the Chinese government while you're over there. Which is stupid, let's be honest here, because everywhere else, every other Olympics has been politicized one way or another.
Sure.
In Brazil, when there was an Olympics, they were all saying, oh my gosh, Brazil is so bad for the poor people that live in Brazil, which is entirely accurate, totally fair. But now that that's in China, we are not going to point out that there's a lot of poverty in China. There's a lot of people being hurt in China. There's a lot of minority groups that live in China that are not being properly cared for and put into camps in a little place called Weishang. So,
what about, also you got to take into consideration the Chinese, the Chinese treatment of the athletes. Have you seen this?
Yeah, there's been some.
When they're quarantined, they're put in these terrible, like roach motels.
Yeah.
Being undernourished. Like a coach will be fed great, but if you're the athlete that's quarantined, you're screwed.
Right.
Yeah.
Because they want to have the advantage.
Sure.
And they're pulling
when it comes to athleticism, nutrition's.
They're pulling the NBA. Everything's in a bubble. You can't go anywhere, which is fine if COVID's that big of a deal in China right now, which let's be honest here, it probably still is because there's a lot of people. They're obviously going to take the precautions of nobody leaves the village. Nobody leaves the Olympic Village. Nobody goes anywhere. We will bring things to you. That's fine. But if you're going to not bring enough food for all of these athletes, that's a problem. Because like Sting said, that's basically a way of cheating.
Yeah.
And that is kind of the stories that I like. I'm sorry, Marcus. It's just crawling behind you. We just saw his head bobbing under the desk.
Story of my life.
Exactly. But I love the stories, especially like I'm sure you guys have heard of it, like the hockey game during the Cold War between America and the Russians.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Like,
it's a miracle. Do you believe in miracles?
exactly. Like that's a fantastic story. Whether or not whoever won, I don't care. I just like the idea of that.
Yeah.
And it's also there's another one that I always think of, but I like those stories. But for some reason, this story is just not making me happy. Like,
Yeah.
It makes maybe because it's today, it's now. Like, it's
Right.
something we're living through right now, and I didn't live through the Cold War, obviously.
Sure.
But this doesn't feel like a good story because nobody's fighting about it. Everyone's just like, oh, we'll do what we can, but we don't want to make anybody mad.
Come here. Can you get on the show for a second? You want to say something? What you got to say, dude?
What's Marcus's thoughts on the geopolitical conflicts between America and
What do you
China?
think? But who do you want to win? Do you want America to win or China?
What are you talking about?
The Olympics. So it's like a United States of America, that's us, and then Chinese people. Who do you want to win?
America.
That's right. See, America. You heard it here
Yes.
first. Half Samoan, still pulling American.
Can we put a waving flag in the background with Marcus just standing in front of it?
That's right. That's all we need, man. That's all we need. What up, dude? All right, you good? Go back out there, all right? Come on, man. God, I give you your own segment on the channel, and you still come in here and hog time.
I told you can't put a camera in front of these kids, man.
God, man.
They just want to keep the camera on
So I was
themselves.
doing that one the other day by myself, and he walked
Yeah.
in and he's like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "Well, restarted, I guess." Jesus Christ.
That's funny.
Um,
But yeah, so it's one of those things where you look at the NBA and how LeBron James didn't say anything. He literally was just like, we shouldn't talk about that because he's making boatloads of money. The NBA makes a lot more money than they do in America in China.
yeah.
And John Cena talking about whatever it was and then having to
Retract it.
He said that Taiwan was its own country.
Which is factual. I don't have any ties to China, so I'm good.
Yeah. But then he comes out and is speaking Mandarin,
Well,
which is crazy.
That was a play by Vince McMahon.
Which is fine. That's, to be fair, like, if he can learn Mandarin, good on him, because Mandarin's actually a very difficult
It's very
language.
difficult. That man knows
But-
how to play the piano fluently as well, and he's one of the best wrestlers of all time, and one of the most well-known people on the planet. So that's very impressive.
Fair enough.
But Vince asked him to learn Mandarin because he wanted to jump into the Chinese market because it's a huge market, right? Like you just said. But you don't want to just go get a Chinese wrestler to make him in the Chinese market. Why don't you just take your main guy and just let him speak Mandarin?
Fair enough.
Send him over there.
Fair enough.
I mean, genius.
But still, making that apology when there's such a political atmosphere about Taiwan and
Well-
it being its own sovereign country, like that's a whole thing.
Well, here comes my rant. Are you ready?
You ready? I'm
And
ready.
we can talk. We can bounce ideas off each other. We can go into this.
We can bounce.
This can be your Chat with Gunner clip. I don't give a fuck, to be honest with you. So, cancel culture is what it is, right? Cancel culture is what it is. I get it. Some of it is good. Some of it is bad. The left does it. The right does it. The middle does it. The un-American does it. Everybody, the Russians do it. Everybody's involved in cancel culture. Hi, I was a part of cancel culture. I get it. I literally said that a super tiny person shouldn't be doing professional wrestling over people who are athletes that are actually real wrestlers, and then he's not going to make it because he's going to get hurt, who went on to get hurt, not be on TV, and then get released. Well, didn't get his contract re-signed. Anyways, so there's that. And he's about to be a singer now or something. So, anyways,
We should invite him on.
I'd love to talk to him. I would tell him to his face, hey, buddy, you're small. Shouldn't have done that. Should have done, like, I don't know, midget wrestling. Been a lot better. Micro wrestling would have probably been a spot for him. That he'd have been like Andre the Giant. Micro wrestling would have been fantastic. In his role model Big Show, been perfect. So the whole cancel culture hit my two favorite people in the same damn day.
It sure did, didn't it?
So I'm a little
I'm
salty.
so happy we're talking about this.
I'm a little salty about all of it. So the first cancel culture deal was Joe Rogan is not on the COVID narrative that everybody wants him to be on. So they've been trying to cancel him for the entire 2020, 2021, and now 2022. Well, they finally got a little bit of something for him, which is going to be, the people that he brings on, the Robert Woods guy, whatever. Marcus. Seriously, dude.
He's on a roll, man.
I need to go out there. Go grab my phone and go out there, okay? Go. Bro.
I'm gonna put a little video here. I'll make another note. Intermission for Marcus.
Yeah, intermission for Marcus. So, all this stuff, right? Is he mad? Anyways.
No.
So, where do they get him? How are they going to get him? Well, The Rock came out and supported Joe Rogan. Nobody was supporting our guy, but that really mattered. The Rock comes out, supports Joe Rogan. Hey, Joe Rogan's my guy. He's willing to have hard conversations, blah, 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 blah. I can paraphrase however I want to. Regardless, he took up for his guy. Then he said, I want to come to the podcast, brother, whatever.
The first time, I think, at least for me, not following The Rock, that he said that he wanted to do it, right?
He's said it in the past. Like,
Okay.
if he did a podcast, it would be Rogan's.
Okay.
Because it's the biggest platform.
But then he said it recently.
He said it
which is
recently.
cool.
There's 2 podcasts he said he'd do, Stone Cold's and Rogan's. That's
Obviously.
By the way, how much did Rogan cream his pants when The Rock finally said,
He didn't even have a chance.
I want to
Yeah,
do it?
He didn't even have a moment to talk about it on his podcast before this came out. So then the N-word compilation comes out of stuff that Rogan said over the podcast.
Which has been out for like years.
Been out for years.
The compilation itself has been out for years.
Sure, yeah, been out for years. It's to people that are Joe Rogan fans. You've already dealt with this. You've already had to tell your friends why you're still a Joe Rogan fan if this has came up or whatever. Then you just go, here's the racist part of it. You have to explain why it's not racist. Makes you a racist, right? So I'm about to be racist right now because I'm explaining why it's not racist. So just get that out of the way. I'll go ahead and call myself that, so nobody else can.
Oh, Jesus.
So he's literally
fuck.
like reading the word, talking about the word that was in comedy specials, being said by people, reading lyrics of rap songs, saying the word in different ways, not saying it in the slang way, not saying it in a bad narrative, not in a, pointing it at you or pointing it at whoever, not saying like that, just saying the word, just that word, period, right? Just saying the word. Okay. Somebody compiled it, put it to where it just sounds like he's just running around and that's the only word he knows for 30 seconds, and then puts it out, says he's racist. So then The Rock comes out and goes, well, I can't really... He doesn't say he can't support this. He doesn't say that's bad or anything. He just goes,
I didn't realize that.
I wasn't aware of him saying the N-word, and this is a learning moment for me to maybe do some research before I maybe vouch for somebody. It's kind of what he said. Well, then the right takes that as The Rock just canceled Joe Rogan and he's being a hypocrite. So now they're going to pull up pro wrestling promos from the 90s and the early 2000s about him doing racist things himself and trans comments because he called John Cena a transvestite Wonder Woman wannabe and did like a Chinese, like a funny thing.
He literally, I can do this for you. Don't worry. He literally goes, ching chang chong, bing bang bong.
Yeah, in a promo.
And I should just say, I find that fucking hilarious.
Well, I don't want to be the one that gets Vince McMahon canceled. But didn't Vince McMahon drop the N-word in a promo?
Yes.
With John
He
Cena?
straight up did.
Yeah.
Just straight up.
He said
it. And
What-
didn't
what's
Triple
up?
H?
Yeah.
Didn't Triple H like bastardize Booker T in a promo, not saying the N-word, but using every African American stereotype against him?
Yeah.
You remember that promo?
Yeah, that Booker
Jesus.
T probably signed off on because he knew it was good stuff.
Yeah. So
You know why? Because it's wrestling. You know what that gets? Heat.
you know what that means? Conflict.
Yeah, and now you get canceled because of heat, right? That's how that works. So The Rock
They call it beef now?
and Joe Rogan got canceled in the same day. And now it really pisses me off because now I'm in a conflict of interest here. So people are coming at me because the left's canceling Rogan and the right's canceling Rock. And I'm in the middle of both of them. That's like 2 of literally my favorite people of everything that I do. Like, what do I do every day? I listen to Joe Rogan's podcast, and I
Work out.
Work out and look at the Rock stuff. While I listen to Rogan's podcast while I'm wearing Project Rock. Okay, that's what I do, right? So
Let's be honest here. In your home gym, you have just a fat head of The Rock flexing, right?
I should. Well, not yet, but I might. My new office, I might just put one in there.
Fair
so
enough.
a little bit of a conflict of interest there. And now I've got people that I like, also sidebar people that are attacking my people. Donald Trump Jr. attacking The Rock. Donald Trump attacking both Joe Rogan and The Rock.
I don't think he attacked Joe Rogan, did he?
He didn't.
He said not to apologize in the way he did.
He just did
Yeah.
typical Donald Trump stuff, right? But
Really, come on.
they're coming after my people.
Why
right?
would you ever apologize? I never apologized. Why would you? You're Joe Rogan. I never said the words that Joe Rogan used, but let's be honest here. If I did, it would still be a shit show.
Yeah. So I just don't understand the whole cancel culture. You can't. I don't know. I don't even know where to go with it. I'm very upset about the whole situation.
Here's my thing.
Everybody's got to have a reason to be a little pussy little bitch.
But
Everybody just wants to be mad.
But the narrative is not even about them being racist. The Rock is black, and they're going after him for.
He's blackish.
And they're going after him for being racist to China. This one
Gotta be honest with you. I think that's the funniest. Like, again, I think that promo is hilarious because it's The Rock. Isn't he like talking with Mankind too? Like, he's standing right there and he just starts saying "Ching Ching Chong." Like,
If we're gonna go after professional wrestling, if that's what our new thing is, like we're gonna go after professional wrestling,
it's gonna be a
promos,
long
and we're gonna start
week.
canceling people.
That's the problem, though. That's the problem. You and I are upset about the fact. Oh yeah, I guess there's a camera here.
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter. You and I are upset the fact that it's a wrestling promo, but these people don't know The Rock from wrestling. That's the problem. We are in the generation where we know The Rock from wrestling. We grew up in the Attitude Era. We watched it. These little bitches only know Dwayne The Rock Johnson from Hollywood.
Yeah,
Because they grew up watching the fucking Tooth Fairy, and if that didn't piss them off enough, they have to now dig into wrestling, and these stupid assholes don't know anything about it.
No, yeah,
They didn't grow up in the generation where everything was extreme and push the limits and Jerry Springer and all this bullshit, which is why I honestly think they're all kind of fucked up.
Yeah, no, it makes complete sense.
If
I
they
can
all
say that.
watch Jerry Springer,
I mean,
what the fuck you gonna cancel now?
Howard Stern was on E.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and that's what everybody wanted to watch at 11 o'clock at night when their parents went to bed.
Hell yeah.
You know, like
That is the funniest thing, Sting. I know you like Howard Stern, but I'm surprised of all the cancel culture stuff. People have not just drudged up all of Howard Stern's old
Stern's
stuff.
Had to pivot. He's had to pivot and put on the happy face.
I mean, yeah,
he did.
He's,
I mean,
he
he's
really did.
completely changed.
Yeah, and I mean, it's you either adapt or you get canceled, and it's bullshit.
Speaking of Batman, you either die a hero or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
Well, listen.
That's a good fucking quote.
Well,
I'm sorry.
I can promise you this: if The Rock was thinking about running for president,
He can't.
he just cut it out.
Yep.
I guarantee you, he just cut it out. He was like, "All right, listen, you stupid fucks. I'll keep
Well-
doing my movies."
Well, let's be honest here. A Joe Rogan, Dwayne Johnson ticket wouldn't be too bad.
Well,
They're not vice president and president. They're co-presidents.
first of all, a Joe Rogan, Dwayne Johnson podcast would break every
all the
record.
records.
It
100%.
might double them. It literally might double them. Like
Yeah.
whatever Elon did, it might 2x.
Is Elon the biggest?
For Rogan, yeah,
Okay.
he's like 1 and 3.
Damn.
But that one with Rogan wearing a pink shirt where you're smoking weed, that's by far number one.
that is a good episode.
It's
yeah.
really hard to beat that one. And
I
it's
mean,
a really
Alex
great
Jones
episode.
smoking weed is always funny.
Yeah, Alex Jones is up there too. And I forgot about him for a while. Now I had to go back and dive through some Alex Jones stuff.
Oh God, no.
I don't know, man. It just frustrates me that those guys do that. And The Rock has the fastest growing tequila, like, first of all, not even tequila, wine and spirit brand of all
Yeah.
time. Did you know that? Like, it's like 4X and George Clooney's, which was number
And
one
the
prior to
tequila's
that.
actually phenomenal. Have you had it?
Is it?
I've got 2 bottles that I haven't opened.
It's really good.
So you got him doing that. You've got all these different movies coming out. I mean, Black Adam, he's going to be playing an anti-hero. And if I was him, after all this shit, I would just fucking turn heel.
Yeah, absolutely.
If The Rock
Go on Joe Rogan's podcast.
and turn
Fuck
heel.
'em.
Turn heel. If The Rock wanted to win presidency, Run as a conservative. Run as a Republican.
No,
He'd
run
win.
independent.
He'd win.
Tying this all together, it's like Howard Stern's. There's a moment in the movie Private Parts, and I don't know if you've seen the movie,
A long time ago.
but the ratings come in at DC 101. They're breaking it down. It's like, well, the average Stern listener or average Stern fan listens for 30 minutes a day, and they were like, okay, well, why do they listen for 30 minutes a day? And they're like, average answer, I have to hear what he's going to say. And they're like, well, 30 minutes isn't that great. And they're like, the average Stern hater listens for 2.5 hours a day. Average answer, why? I have to hear what he's going to say.
Same thing with Rogan.
Yeah, exactly. You're not going to cancel Joe Rogan.
That's the thing. He has 11 million followers, and I don't doubt that all of those could be positive.
What was the stat that we read last night? Like 19% of people have canceled Spotify, but that's it? In the grand scheme of things, 19% of people, and this is after the N-word scandal dropped. Only 19% of
And that's
people
not even
left.
that. To be fair, that's not even like corroborated. That's just a rumor.
Well,
And I bet like 99% of them are white.
Well, also check this. Yeah, I love the whole thing where like some of the black influencers that are friends with Rogan are saying, I love how middle-aged white men and women are trying to tell me how I should feel about racist remarks made by my buddy.
We were talking about it last
It's like
night.
a Black Lives Matter rally.
We were talking about it last night, and I meant to send this to you, but I'll send it to both of you now. There is a great video. It's just one of those videos of the guy walking with a cameraman with a microphone. Goes to like Venice Beach in L.A. and he just starts walking up to people.
I saw
People
this.
laying on the ground, people, riding the bikes, whatever it may be. But he just goes up to him and he asks them about Joe Rogan. They give their opinion. He says, "Do you care if he says the N-word?" All of the black people are like, "What do I care? He's not saying it to me. He's not saying it at me.
Yeah.
He's just saying it.
Yeah.
What's the point?" And then everybody else, all the white people, are like, "He really shouldn't be saying that word because it really is not a good word to use when he's not black." And it's just like, you care when the people that you are saying should care do not care.
Don't care.
You know what? I could talk about something else pro wrestling related that's kind of tied
God,
into
I
this.
thought you were about to say the N-word.
Never.
I was like, no, cut it.
That's another clip. I'm just gonna have a clip, and it just cuts out immediately.
So Southern Honor Wrestling
Yes.
Oh God, no.
this past weekend. No, was it this past weekend?
Was it
The first weekend of February. When was that?
this weekend? Yeah.
Okay, yeah, so this past weekend. Anyway, so we started we're continuing our tank and gunner segment, so break down that a little bit. I kind of Sting wants to hear about it. So, 3 months ago, there was a video that played, I'm winning a match, number one contender match against AC Mack, who currently is the first ever LGBTQ plus.
No. Plus, also has IA in there. So
Okay.
It's fine. It's fine.
Okay, I'm right. And first of all, AC Mack is my boy, so keep that this is legit. LGBTQ plus champion, the first gay champion, world champion. Like, if you're looking at the PWI ranking system, it's like Roman Reigns, Bobby Lashley. Who's the champ for AEW? Paige. Somebody. AC Mack. He's literally in the top 10 because he has the IWTV World Championship. Okay? So, really cool. Love AC. I had a match against him, number one contender match for Southern Honor. I was winning, and then Tank and Rev stuff comes up, and I get distracted. They roll my tights up, 1, 2, 3, blah, blah. So then the next month, same thing's happening. I've got a match, blah, blah, blah. I get rolled up, same thing, video plays. The next month, I'm winning the match against a guy that came in, first time I ever met him, and video plays. Well, this time I just kind of shrug off the video because I'm too smart for that, right? And then I finish the match, win the match, and then I cut supposedly what is the greatest promo in the history of my career, which literally I was just tired sitting down in the middle of the ring and just cut a real life promo, which maybe I should just do it more often. And everybody seemed to like it. So then this past month, we did a segment, which was just a week ago, where I came out to the ring. I called out Tank and Rev. Rev came out, cut a promo on me. And then, you know what? I didn't know this, but Tank slid in the ring behind me. And he was about to attack me, but I speared him. And literally what was funny, and we were laughing in the ring. So I speared him. Tank's a big guy, so I've got to like actually get him going. His shoe fell off, like cartoon style. When I speared him, went straight up in the air and hit him right as it came down. So we're laughing in the ring as this is happening. And then I get up, get distracted by Rev. He beats me up, does a couple moves, and then he suffocates me with a paper bag going into our heat spot. They got a lot of heat for the first time being there. It was really awesome. So I think probably sometime this month something should be announced for the next show, and we've got a little bit of a story going there, right? Got a little deathmatch wrestler versus a Southern Honor wrestler over here. That's the story. This is not deathmatch wrestling. This is professional wrestling, Southern wrestling, storyline, good old wrestling. We don't need that deathmatch stuff. That's the story, right? So you can see where that's going. Anyways, so at the show, one of the first segments, Gary is cutting a promo on Joe Black. And in the promo at some point, and I think this was just the way it came across because nobody really thought about it until it got brought up. But, you know, Gary said something along the lines of, this is my promotion, which means, or he said, I own this promotion, which means I own you, right? Because, like, Joe's...
Yeah, that's not good. That's not good writing.
But Joe is, we don't write, Gary just talks. But Joe's just the one of the top heels in the company now. And he was trying to, like, do whatever he wanted to do. So Gary was like, you ain't going to do that. This is my promotion. I own this promotion, which means I own you, and I tell you what to do. All right? Didn't think anything about it. Well, to close the show, the lynch mob returned. The lynch mob turned heel. And they go out to the ring, and they beat up on... They beat up on Gary with the chairs, right? So, the end of the whole thing, there was an article that was written by this guy that supposedly attended the show. It's a wrestling fan. And he made it known that Southern Honor comes off racist. One reason, because this all happened during Black History Month. Second reason, because a white man owning something told a black man that he owned him. Okay?
Black man agreed to be a part of the promo, correct?
Well, yeah, and I don't think that...
And I'm sorry, but the black man, I've seen Gary Lamb. I like Gary Lamb.
Uh-huh.
But Gary Lamb's probably not the most athletic person ever, so if you were to take the black man, I'm pretty sure if he had a problem with it, he could probably shoot fight.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
Gary.
yeah, I'd say so.
No offense to Gary.
No, not at all.
To Gary.
So I agree with that. But also, to bring the whole lynch mob scenario into it, okay, now I get it if this is a debut tag team, two white guys named the lynch mob, they're coming down with their Confederate flags and their overalls on, and they got their rope, and they're going to hang some people at the arena. That's the heat, right? Old school 1980s wrestling heat, right? It's nothing like that. These guys are like modern hipsters from Lakeview that just came back in wrestling, been wrestling 3 times as long as I have.
Can we talk about how their last name is Lynch?
Their last name is spelled exactly how the team name is. And instead of going like Lynch Mafia or Lynch Brothers or Lynch Group, a long time ago, I don't know, like such as 10 years ago, their family is considered like the lynch mob. Like that's their family. Then they put it into wrestling. Okay? Because it sounds good, right? You know, it sounds good. And it can be heel or baby, right?
Well, around here, it rolls off the tongue really well.
Well, I didn't even know what a lynch mob was. I guess, you know, I'm just ignorant to that, and I understand that because I guess, you know, white privilege. But other than that, I just didn't understand. So you got this guy comes out, he cuts this Facebook text promo about how Southern Honor isn't racist, but it sure does come off racist. It was that type of an article. Like somebody wrote something. Yeah, I don't want to say this because I know these guys and I've been to all their shows and I'm such a fan that I don't think it would be like this. But with it being Black History Month and with it being white guys and owning black people and lynching people, and one of my buddies told me there may have been a sign in the crowd that none of the wrestlers can even control that might have potentially, possibly said, this is what it pretty much said, lynch mob on it, and it had some type of a logo that could have been perceived as a rope. Oh, okay, Bubba Wallace. Like, I don't necessarily need your perceiving of a potential sign of might be possibly a rope. How about we bring some facts here? Facts is Gary Lamb is not racist. The lynch mob is not racist. The lynch mob is not even meant to be anywhere near a race. All right, it's literally their last name. They don't have any play on any Southern heritage. They don't have any play on any type of racist matters. They've been literally put in that box their entire career because of that stupid name. I would have changed it a long time ago, but it is what it is. But regardless, they're not racist whatsoever. Nobody at the entire Southern Honor Wrestling locker room is racist. Guess what? We probably have one of the most diverse rosters in the state of Georgia. Not just the state of Georgia, but it's the 3-time promotion of the year, and it's consecutive and running and defending promotion of the year. People want to work there. If you look in the crowd, everyone's in the crowd. Every type of person is in the crowd. And guess what? They cheer for all of us. They boo. They do exactly what we're supposed to do. It's a show. But one person comes out. One person has made this all about them. They've put this article out. Georgia Wrestling History, they reposted the article. I'm sure other people in Georgia are having their little, their videos and stuff about it. Listen, I don't give a fuck. So Gary, to even bring Gary into this as being racist, to bring Dylan into this as booking this as racist, to think this was choreographed or scripted, and to think that Joe was attacked, and to think that the lynch mob is closing the show during Black History Month because racism. Wake up, man. Like, all y'all need to wake up. And if you really think that this was just a marketed, a campaigned attack for racism, if that's what you really think, how about this? Don't do wrestling. Don't show up to wrestling. Don't commentate wrestling. Don't be in the background at wrestling. Don't wrestle. Don't be a fan of wrestling. Don't do any of it. And guess what? While you're at it, quit watching TV. Quit watching movies. Don't read books. Don't look at the magazines. Get off social media. Get off the internet. Don't support all these major corporations who, guess what, are racist for the most part. Just dig into it. You're a little dumb. You're a little too stupid to actually do the research and to figure out all this stuff. But those shoes you wear, those shirts you wear, those stupid ass hats you wear, all that shit, all that's racist. So if you really want to go with the racist part, that's racist. That phone you're texting on might be the racist damn thing in your fucking hand. All right? So, anyways.
I'm going to get naked and run around.
Am I right?
Please don't do that.
You're not wrong.
I'm not wrong, but the last time I wasn't wrong, I got canceled, and I was right. So, you know what? Bring it, bitches. I'm all day.
Oh, God.
I'm in a little bit better situation than I was the last time. I could give 3 flying fucks about pro wrestling. I do it strictly because that little munchkin that was running around this office. And if he'd let me retire, I'd already retired. I should have retired during the Corey match. The match that was probably match of the year that they didn't give match of the year, but it was still up for match of the year, even though me and him combined didn't work 15 matches that year. That's embarrassing.
It was racist.
Yeah, probably. Because
Corey's Lebanese, right?
something like that. Yeah, and I beat him, yeah, so, I mean, never know. But, and okay, now, first of all, now a lot of people's going to take that and they're going to be like, oh, my goodness, that was so racist. Even though nothing in it was racist. Literally not one thing about that was racist. I will say this. I get it. I do, right? So I get the I don't walk in your shoes. I don't see what you see. I'm not looking for what you look for. I'm not having to be as careful as you. I'm probably not going to get pulled over driving down the road, right? And I know that's a fear for a certain group in this country. I'm not dumb. I'm not blind to that. I mean, it happens all the time. I've had buddies get pulled over, close friends get pulled over because of that for no reason whatsoever. I mean, listen, my fiance is not pale, okay? Let's get, she's Samoan, all right? She's the darkest skinned person in my family, all right? She's been pulled over because of that. So it's not like I'm blind to it. But at the same time, I'm not going to cower into it. I'm not going to be scared to speak my mind and to say things that I think that are factual. I mean, that's kind of the reason this whole podcast was created in the first place, was to get up here and rant. And for some reason, when Sting walks into the room, it just pisses me off and gets me in the zone. I don't know.
God damn it.
I'm usually pretty calm-headed. But
He was really calm when he was talking about football, and then you came in.
All I said was Von Bell, and he just went fucking off.
and then next thing you know, here we go. But it is, man. It's just frustrating that my friends get attacked for stuff that obviously I know that they have, no reason to be attacked for that, because it's not true. But you can paint somebody like that. Like, you can say, like, if somebody wanted to campaign that Sting or Ethan was racist,
Hold on.
I promise you, if they're good enough, within 48 hours,
24.
24,
For Sting.
no, I'm just saying, like, you could make things up, take things out of context, if you're a good video editor, put things together, make it sound a certain way, and that person's racist. Like,
Remember that
you
thing?
literally just made them racist.
My political aspirations.
So, I mean, think about it this way. So you could literally take, I've got I don't know, hundreds of hours now of podcasting. Both you guys do as well. So somebody, if they were bored enough,
Oh, my show for sure.
they could go, Rejected Radio. They go on Rejected Radio, and
They just watch one episode, let's be honest here.
but honestly, they go to Rejected Radio. They could just take every word that Sting has said ever, and then just put it in the order that they want it to say. Take the video out and just have the audio. And you can put together any dialogue you want. You can get the N-word out of that by not even saying the N-word, but by saying 3 words that had those pronunciations of it, and get that word.
That's called deep faking, and it's actually a really big problem.
I know, it's a huge
It happened to Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan, Donald Trump, and a bunch of other people that talk for a living there was a website, and it's down now because people started attacking it. But it was a whole website where you could type in whatever you wanted, and it would process for 5 minutes, and you'd get your audio clip.
Yeah.
And it would say exactly what you said. And for Joe Rogan, it was undiscernible from him actually talking.
No, I remember
a lot of those
he played it on a show.
Yeah, a lot of those can end up being like you're saying X amount of words, and it cuts where you're going up with your voice, and then it cuts down. Yeah. But Joe Rogan's was eerily too accurate for comfort, and that's the future we have right now. So
I know that this. I hate having to say that every time you say something, this comes off racist. But it does, right? Like, if you talk about it, you're racist.
yeah.
If you even bring it up, you're racist.
Well, I mean, to be fair, Gunner, you do have a producer that you order around all the time that is Asian. That's a little.
Wow.
Yeah, right.
That's a little fucked up.
Can we keep that on the down low? Nobody needs to know the behind the scenes of how this operation works. All right. Hey,
Did you
shut
know
up.
I'm unpaid?
Hey, cut his mic. Shut the fuck up. God.
But
ching,
see, that's
ching,
what
chang, pow, wing, dang, boom, boom, bang. Is that what it was?
man.
Come on, I don't even know my dad.
Yeah, sorry. See, I didn't even know his dad's name. I guessed it.
But no, like. See, this is what happens when everybody takes a joke and understands the context. Everybody can. Oh well, probably not.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Yeah,
Anyways, but yeah.
Yeah, but
Anyway, but yeah, that's my point at this point. Is just like take people with good faith, right?
Yeah.
All of this bullshit that's come out here recently is always just taking people at bad faith. You want to be mad,
You wanna
so
see the
you're
worst
going to
of
find
everybody.
something. Yeah. And I don't subscribe to that because The Rock may say something that I don't like, sure, but he's also said plenty of cool things that I like. Joe Rogan has said a few things that I'm like, I don't agree with that 100%.
Yeah.
But then he's still doing things that I like. Actions are speaking way louder than words.
Yeah, okay, so I'll say this again. I am a massive follower and fan of those guys. And I don't agree with everything they say, right? I mean, one of my favorite athletes of all time is Tim Tebow. I can't even tell you the last time I've been to church. You would think, as a Tim Tebow follower, like I'm just right in the same level as him. Could care less, to be honest with you. I like Tebow for his work ethic and his drive and his competitiveness and his attitude and his discipline. That's why I like him. It's also the same reason as I like The Rock and Joe Rogan. Anybody, really, I like those aspects of human. People that have done something well at a really high level, and I try to figure out what were they thinking to get there, how'd they get there, and how'd they fell along the way, what'd they learn, how can I somehow or another put together some type of blueprint for myself to mimic it the best way I can, whether that's a body or a business or a work ethic or a podcast or whatever, anything, right? So that's why I liked it. I don't just like them because, I don't know, one goes to church and one's racist and the other one's an entertainer. That's not why I like them.
No.
Or one's big and, one has a bunch of followers and the other one's good at football. That's not why I like them. I like them because of what made them them. And that's why they're so well liked and so popular. It's because they have something different that made them them. And I try to figure out what that is and try to come up with my own thing, blah, blah, blah. If you're not doing that, I think everybody should be doing that. Find a mentor that's not somebody you can't touch, somebody that you can study from afar, that these days you can get all the information on, like a library of everything they've ever done for the most part, which is good and bad. But then you can figure out a way to carve your own path. That's pretty much the new education system.
We're good.
Is it? You sure?
We're good.
Audio's
We're good.
Okay.
We're good.
We're
We're good.
back.
We're good. We're
And we're back, and I'm Pillar.
good.
How'd
I'll fix
happen?
that. Give me a
Okay,
second.
You're good. What else we got? Anything else cool?
Last thing, because I know you have some thoughts if you've seen it.
I have thoughts about things I
Jurassic
haven't
World Dominion. Have you seen the trailer?
seen. Yes, and I know that everyone's in it, right? Like
Yeah.
the whole cast is coming back.
It's definitely like a Force Awakens Star Wars thing.
So that's a new theme in movies, right? That's the new deal.
It's just like Ghostbusters.
well, it's not if it's not a multiverse, it's a how can we
It's nostalgia. bait,
yeah, how
is
can
what
we
they
do
call
that?
it.
Because you got to think. So that movie came out in when 1992, 3.
Yeah,
All right.
right around there.
So I turn 31 next week. So that movie's 28, 29 years old.
Mm-hmm.
You got to think guys that were our age when they were watching that, they're now
30.
well, no, I'm saying like people that enjoyed that at that age, say they were
40, 50.
so they're 40s and to 50s.
Yeah.
They got kids, they got grandkids, so they want to be able to watch it with the kids. It's smart. It's just like the sports cards coming back right now. It's that age. Everything that was cool in the late 80s, early 90s, they got to take advantage of it right now. There's about a 5-year window, and we're in the middle of it. So I'm all about it, though. I mean, I love those shit.
I love the trailer though. The trailer looked awesome.
I didn't see the trailer. I just saw the poster.
The picture, yeah.
Yeah.
Just a couple thoughts on it. There's a lot of scenes. There's more scenes than I thought there would be. Just like in different places.
Uh-huh.
There's plenty of dinosaurs in like cities, which is awesome.
Okay.
That's a Lost World reference, honestly.
Yeah.
But then there's like a weird scene that's probably the same scene, just different, points of it, where they're in like a snowy mountain area, and the dinosaurs are like coming after him. I'm like, dinosaurs in the snow? I feel like that's weird. So I'm interested. I'll definitely go see it. I liked the first Jurassic World.
Is
So
the tall dark-headed dude, is he in this one?
Goldblum?
Goldblum? Yeah.
No,
Yeah. I like
favorite.
Goldblum.
Yeah.
Goldblum's pretty fun. So
I've got a question for you.
Oh, let's
God.
bring it.
oh, no.
Not to make it. Oh, shut up, Ethan. Not to make it too like wrestling related.
No, sure, bring it.
Is WWE going to sell to Disney?
Well, I think
Have
that
you seen that Disney Plus is carrying WWE Network in India? That's the first relationship that's come out so far between the two companies. But Shane's gone. Hunter's apparently like disappeared after the cardiac issue.
uh-huh.
So
Well, I don't know if
Is he
Shane
on the
is
table?
gone. So the rumors were Shane had some mix-ups at the Rumble, and now they, parted ways with him. He's also McMahon, so come on now. So he was spotted somewhere with someone overseas. Maybe where's the next big show? Saudi Arabia.
yeah, the Jenna.
Yeah, whatever. Well, so he's
They're doing elimination chamber there.
yeah. Well, that's why Goldberg's going. So
How much is the transport fee to haul that big son of a bitch to.
They just
Saudi
make it over
Arabia.
there.
They'll pay it over. They got that pop-up arena over there. They'll pay it over there. They got so much oil money it doesn't matter. I mean, all those guys will make the most money they'll make is at that show
It's all
this year.
Saudi shit.
Yeah, I mean,
wasn't the Crown Prince literally at one of those shows?
they
or
do a
something like
crown jewel show.
Yeah,
yeah.
like,
They
so
do.
I mean-
They do a worldwide American themed WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Then they also have like the crown jewel show that is pretty much WrestleMania over, but not as like hyped.
Yeah.
It's like a lower marketed WrestleMania only to that part of the
Demographic.
country.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can we also talk about how they haven't ran Wembley Stadium since like SummerSlam '92?
Yeah.
But we're just whoring ourselves out to Saudi Arabia.
They can't make any money in the States. Make it all over there.
Yeah, but you can make it in England.
Yeah, it's, I mean,
Yeah, I guess
to be
so.
fair, Wembley also like changed. The old Wembley Stadium, I don't think is the same one since
I mean,
'92.
regardless, you put 92,000 people.
Back to
Oh,
your,
yeah.
back to answer your question.
Yes.
I 100% think that the WWE is going to be sold. I think that Disney is as good as anyone to buy it. Correct me if I'm wrong. Disney is tied with ESPN, right?
Yes.
Yes,
Okay,
100%.
so if I think
Disney owns ESPN and ABC.
which owns UFC, which would then own WWE,
Yes.
which just makes sense. Because now the WWE will get paid by Disney no matter what. They'll just get a base fee to own their library, to own their pay-per-views, everything. And then Vince will no longer have to worry about, I need to, cut this guy to save this money here, blah, blah, blah. 'Cause he's going to know he's going to be getting X amount of money no matter what, coming yearly. And then anything else he can do through pay-per-views or what, like the numbers, however they're going to be able to do that through subscriber count or whatever.
Premium live events. By the way.
That'll just be icing on the cake.
Yeah.
Like UFC, they don't care, who their star is. That's the only bad thing about it. It's going to, and it happened a long time ago, but it's going to eliminate stars, and the brand is the star. Like the UFC, you got Conor McGregor, who's bigger than the brand. You've got Habib, who has more followers than the brand. Ronda Rousey, who has more followers than the brand. Other than that, though, everybody else needs the UFC for the most part. But the WWE, everybody needs the WWE. They don't have anybody bigger than the brand.
I disagree.
Who's bigger than the brand?
Oh, I'm just saying not everybody needs WWE. I think AEW is.
No, I get that. But
they've got a strong footing, and they're actually. I feel like you could even argue this. They're a better wrestling product than WWE is. WWE is a sports entertainment product, and you're seeing that in like droves every week right now.
I'll say this. I'll say I watch very little AEW, and this is probably bad of me to even comment on it. But here's what I'll say from just what I've read and the clips that I've seen, and I think that if it was better, I would know. AEW started off hot like any new independent promotion could start off if they had a lot of money, which they did. They're pretty much a huge independent promotion that had a unlimited bankroll, a bigger bankroll than WWE, to be honest with you. So, yes, they're going to be able to do cool things, grab some new talent, whatever, get excited, get a TV contract, do whatever you need to do. They got a cult-like fan base that reminds me of like punk rock, where WWE is rock and roll, or maybe even pop music. Maybe is it a better way to do it. So AEW's crowd is going to be vocal, and they're going to be loud on Twitter. There's going to be small in the amount of actual viewers, and I think you see that with the ratings. Like, NXT pretty much competes with Dynamite, and it's nowhere near SmackDown or Raw. And they kind of go back and forth, I guess, who wins or whatever. But if you look at like total views between WWE and AEW, it's not even close. If you look at money generated, WWE had $1 billion year, it's not even close. You look at the ethics of like WWE firing a lot of people, it's a business. AEW is like playing a player coach. They don't fire people. They let their contracts run out, which I guess is nice for whatever that is. It's going to come back to bite them in the long run. AEW starting to look more 2000 WCW to me than it should so soon. Does that make sense?
Really?
Like, how many debuts can you have? How many more, forbidden doors can you have? How many more, WWE guys, lack of a better term, that you think didn't get the shot they needed in WWE that you can bring over here and make them stars? Do you have to have until you're going to run out of all that, and you're just going to have to out WWE? Like, at what point does that happen? And then, can you out WWE the company that's put every single wrestling company out of business? Are you willing to play that game? Now, Vince is old. Vince, I say there's no way he can do it too much longer, but he's jacked. The only thing that's old on him is his hair and his face. He's still sharp, obviously. Triple H, that whole thing's got me not worried, but confused. Like, he built the whole NXT brand. Then they've pretty much, after the heart attack and even prior to it, just eliminated the entire NXT brand and redid it in such a corny way. But you could also say it's being more successful at this point because it's not bleeding as much money. They don't have as much talent, and they're now bringing in people from the main roster to get a little bit more eyes on that and helping those guys out. And Shawn Michaels is building stars faster than anybody has built stars at NXT other than literally the first year. And that whole group is main players either on AEW or WWE. So, I don't know. I think Shawn Michaels is in a great position. I think Triple H might be a little sour that Shawn is better than him again at what he does. But I think Triple H is more of doesn't need to be like the face because he becomes too much of I don't want to say a mark for himself, but he gets too involved in the pro wrestling aspect of it, where he needs to just step back and do the business side. And I don't know if he's the business guy or not that everybody thought he was going to be. I don't know who is. I don't know if it's Shane. From what you hear or what you read, which I don't know if it's fact or fiction, but he's kind of, all about himself and wants to get himself over and do these things. But I don't know who's really reading that. I might be an idiot, might be wrong. It's the way of the future, women. But Stephanie McMahon's gonna run the company. It is what it is. I think she does a great job. She keeps her nose out of everything. She's a great face for the company. She's a great speaker. She's by far the most business savvy out of that group. Of course, Hunter can help with the wrestling aspect of it. Shane can help with the sales and the business aspect of it outside of pro wrestling. But as far as understanding the talent and the pro wrestling and also just being a bitch of enough of a person to just be able to let go somebody like that, like her dad, that's the future. I don't know. But do they go to Disney? I've heard rumors that Triple H buys another promotion. I've heard rumors that Shane McMahon starts another promotion. I've heard rumors of them going to a different promotion, which the only one they go to is AEW. Now, that would be interesting. If Shane or Triple H walked out on Dynamite, that would be your Scott Hall, your Kevin Nash, your Hulk Hogan moment. But that's the only...
That would be Scott Hall, Kevin Nash, Hulk Hogan. That would eclipse every bit of that.
But that's what they need.
You're actually looking at the inner workings of the family.
But that's what you would need.
It would be.
I don't think AEW can. AEW will always be 1B. How long do you want to be 1B? 1B can only hang around for so long. They're not going to eclipse the WWE.
I don't think they're going to eclipse the WWE, but I still think I don't think they're going to have the short lifespan that we'll even say Bischoff's WCW had.
Well, I think
they've got a little bit longer.
They can hang around. I just think that they're never going to be 1A.
I think they have learned that they can't just go out and get all these butt-fuck indie guys coming in. Because what do you do with them? What do you do with them? Now you've got Punk. Now you've got Ambrose. Now you've got MJF, who, by the way, is incredible.
He's good.
Love him. Love his promo. Love his look. Jericho, obviously there to help cultivate and put over talent. They've made some terrible decisions. The Marco Stunts.
Joey Janela.
Joey Janela.
Actually, that whole group of people that came in at the very beginning, that outside of the main core, like your Young Bucks, your Codys, your FTRs, your I'd say Darby was
I love Darby Allin.
Was the success story of that young group of unknowns. Him and MJF, but I think MJF was kind of they were going to make him a deal no matter what, and he had the want to. But Darby was probably that kind of unknown, but it was Sting.
There would not be a Darby if there wasn't a Sting.
It was perfect timing, and he needs to thank Sting with everything.
Yes.
I mean, eventually one day, Darby's got to turn on Sting, and they got to have their big match. But,
of course.
you know, and turn Darby heel and let him be that punk rock weirdo emo character. But I think Sting, they want to get me to go to a show. They want to get me to tune in and buy into something. I need Sting to have a championship run. I know he's old, stupid,
You know they're
blah,
coming
blah.
to Nashville this month, right?
I know Josh is going next Wednesday.
Is it next Wednesday?
It's my birthday, yeah.
We
For
should go,
damn
dude.
sure not celebrate my birthday
We should
at
go.
an
I've
AEW
never
show.
seen Sting live.
I know, me either. But I will. Listen, I've kept that little munchkin away from AEW, and he's a diehard wrestling fan. I'm going to keep him away.
Dude,
So,
I'm going to plan a surprise trip. I'm going to tell you.
no, you're not.
Yeah, I am. Hey, don't tell Gunner, but we're going to do this.
Yeah, she knows better. But I don't know, man. Like I said, and that's just, some people get on here and they'll listen to that and they're like, you don't know anything. I don't. You're right, 100%. I don't fucking know anything. You don't either. So, unless your name is Vince McMahon or Tony Khan, no one knows, to be honest with you. I mean, there's literally 20 podcasts out there that are popular about pro wrestling from people that have worked with these guys speaking their opinion that nobody knows what's going to happen. Everybody thinks they know what's right. From the Pritchards to the Cornettes to the Flairs to the Austins to everybody. Everybody thinks they know what should be doing. Well, listen, there's 2 billionaires. Last name Khan, last name McMahon. That's the only 2 people that matter. Unless that's your last name, shut the fuck up. How about that? What else?
I think that's it.
Anything else going on?
No, not really.
I mean,
I just
is
let
that
y'all.
not true?
I just let y'all go.
No,
I mean,
I just love the camera.
I'm not upset with it.
I mean, yeah, it is what it is, man. I don't just seriously. I mean, every opinion matters for the amount of time that you say it. And that's all that matters. Unless somebody puts it in text, puts it on Twitter, and throws all kinds of other shit to it. Twitter, man. Twitter is a cesspool
It really is.
Of
I was just scrolling it, and it's terrible.
of human beings. Like, I've been off of it for a long time. You know, I wish I never would have deleted it, but that might be my biggest regret.
Deleting Twitter? Don't say that out loud.
During this whole like creating the podcast, trying to build the brand, blah blah blah. I think my biggest regret was not tripling down when I had everybody pissed.
Yeah.
Now looking back at it, after going, so I've been to the 10X Business Boot Camp. I've taken a couple marketing classes now. I've done all this stuff, and if I'd have just fucking tripled down when that happened on Twitter, and just came out and just said, "Fuck everybody, you stupid pieces of shit." Especially,
Did we release that video we shot?
no, we did, yeah, but
yeah.
but everything was deleted by then. It's like we'd created the other Twitter, tried to post it on that, didn't get any steam. Dude, I had several thousand followers that were engaged followers at the peak of wrestling. If we'd have posted that shit then, with me like pretty much saying "fuck everybody," especially the women wrestlers and you short guys, that would have blown like everybody would know me. The articles would have kept going. I didn't realize that then when I had the attention, I tried to play I'm just gonna let it die down, let it die down, let it blow by, and it did.
Yeah.
If I'd have just hammered on and just kept being opinionated, the Young Bucks say something, fuck the Young Bucks. You know, just like that type of stuff, man.
Jeez.
I'd probably be sitting outside of Dynamite right now, commentating on this.
You were actually you were the shoot MJF.
Yeah, and
You were everything his gimmick wants to be.
Yeah, he had to play off me to even get more heat. And I'm 1-0 against him, straight up too. Black Label, bitch.
All right.
Well, you know, seriously though, think about this. Let's go back to it. So all the people
my
that said that
God.
I was such a terrible worker, terrible wrestler, not charismatic, not going to make it, not a star, those same people booked me for the most money that I've ever been booked for in Chicago against MJF at Black Label Pro, put me over to give me a title shot at the following show. They got snowed out. Then I come out and say that the only reason why a lot of women have good matches is because they wrestle guys' matches. They want to do the intergender stuff. And Marco Stunt's short. That's what got me canceled. And now I'm a terrible wrestler. It's like, if I'm such a terrible wrestler, then why the hell did you let me beat MJF? Why'd you let me beat Riddle? Literally, I'm beating guys that are top guys in both companies. You don't think it frustrates me a little bit? You know, I think I'm doing okay, but I'm just saying, a little frustrating. A lot of people could have, you know, got depressed, went completely downhill, lost it. That's it. That's everything. I'm not going to do anything anymore. I just can't do anything. No, it actually helped me in so many other ways as far as the other career goes, and found my family, helped me. This is a perfect scenario for me. And now I can get up here and comfortably say that, you know, in 2018, that I probably shouldn't have said that. Only once. I should have said it so many fucking times that everybody knew about it in professional wrestling, in sports entertainment. I should have been on fucking ESPN calling short motherfuckers out for being in pro wrestling. So everybody's like, Marco Stunt's no Rey Mysterio. You damn right he's not. And also, guess what? Fuck Rey Mysterio. He's too short to be in wrestling too. He shouldn't be in it either. I don't give a shit. And listen, and his stupid ass son, Marcus, is a huge fan. Listen, we can do this. Marcus is a huge fan of Dominic Mysterio, and I've spent like $50 on Dominic Mysterio action figures.
The suit is corrupting
And you
him.
know what? The damn action figure of Dominic Mysterio is bigger than his dad. And The Miz had the best promo this past week when he said, you know, you look a little tall for a Mysterio. You look like a Guerrero. That was a great. You didn't hear that? That was a great line. But listen, you know, Dominic's another one of those guys, just like Taz's kid, that I think they're good. Obviously, they're good. Do you know how many people could be good wrestlers? You know how hard wrestling is? Not hard whatsoever. The best wrestlers are the most unathletic fucks on the planet. Okay? And the good athletic ones are the really good wrestlers, right? Funny how that works. That's why there's so many people going after professional athletes and college athletes and fucking swimmers and CrossFit people and fitness people and bodybuilders and all this stuff. Because guess what? It's easy. You know what? It's fake. It's not fake. It's real quick. No, it's acting. All right? It's acting. If you look good, you can talk, you're charismatic, you're pretty, you're beautiful, you want to show all your body, whatever it is, you're going to get over. So, of course, if you put some people in there that have only been trained by really good people, they're going to be pretty good at pro wrestling, especially when they're wrestling other guys that are on top professional wrestling cards. How about you put that fucking Taz kid and Dominic Mysterio out here on the fucking indies with somebody that has no clue what they're doing, trying to put together a match and hoping they get over in the ring? Good luck. Unless you're with somebody who knows what they're doing. A guy's been around for a while. A guy knows how to call spots and put together an actual fucking match and get a reaction from the crowd. I mean, yeah. Oh, you got your dad's producing it, who's been a top guy at ECW, come up forever, WWF, blah, blah, been a commentator, all this stuff. You're a top guy producing it. A top guy is training you in the ring with top guys, and you got over. Congratulations, dipshit. I would hope you get over, okay? If you don't get over, you're an epic failure. That's like fucking Mark Cuban coming into the ring or Pete Rose in a chicken suit getting into the ring trying to do pro wrestling. Of course, they can't do it. Some people are just not going to be able to do it because it's stupid. Bad Bunny. Is that his name?
Yeah.
He's a good wrestler. He's got 1 billion followers on Spotify. Doesn't even speak English. He's a good wrestler, okay? The Arrow, Stephen Hamill, is that his name? He's a good wrestler. Main events on SummerSlam, okay? He's a good wrestler. Snooki?
No.
Don't you say those words.
You tell me she's the absolute worst woman to ever step in foot of a ring? Absolutely not.
No.
She
God, that
WrestleMania. WrestleMania.
Oh, it was so bad.
Listen, Marcus barely knows how to do anything, right? He's 6. Barely knows how to do anything. I can have a good match with Marcus in the ring. So before the shows, he comes in there and we do like the same. It's like, I'm Gunner and you're Marco. I'm just kidding. But like, we get in the ring and we always have our moment. Like everybody gets out of the ring the last like 2 minutes and we run some spots. So he's been doing it now for a few months. So like now what we'll do is like, I'll tell him to punch, hold it, punch, and I'll sell. Then he'll hit me at the ropes, blah, blah, blah. We'll do our thing. And he's like doing a 619, going to the top ropes, jumping off. He always pins me. Like he's 6. And he does it pretty well. Better than some of the guys I've been in the ring with, to be honest with you. So like if
I'd pay to see that match.
if a 6-year-old can do pro wrestling, if Kenny Omega can wrestle a 9-year-old in a match or a blow-up doll, right, and get a reaction, I'm pretty sure that anybody can be a pretty good wrestler if in there with the right person, if produced by the right person, if filmed by the right person, like in the right setting. I mean, Sting knows all about this. Like, you can have a good match, a great match, and it be filmed in the bad spot, and it's going to look awful. Or you can have a terrible match filmed properly, and it look decent, a.k.a. 70% of WWE. Yeah. Go to a house show, not great. Go to a live show, slow, big, generic, just very animated type moves. Go to an indie show, snug, tight, has to be, got to make a sound, got to look like you hit somebody because everybody's right there on you. WWE, AEW, they're playing for the people in the cheap seats, the people on TV.
I actually kind of, that does bring up an interesting point too. I almost want to go to Nashville just to see the pace between the two.
I bet it's very similar. It's TV.
You think so?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
It's going to be a little bit different because a lot of the guys don't have as much experience on TV. You're going to see a difference. You're going to see a difference.
I feel like AEW would actually be more enjoyable live.
You're going to see a difference between a Darby Allin, even an MJF to a certain extent, even though he works very similar to me. Just the guys that don't have a name, right. You'll see a difference between those guys, and then watch Bryan work, CM Punk work, your Hangman work, your FTR work. Watch those guys work. They're going to work TV WWE style. Everybody else is going to work a little snugger, a little tighter, a little risky. They're going to get hurt maybe. They get hurt quite a bit. Yeah. They're going to take some risks. They're going to try to do the super cool stuff. A little bit fast, not sell as long. Go from spot to spot. It's just natural. It's just how it is. Because when you call spot, you're thinking too much. You don't have, and you get tired because you're thinking, not even because you're working. You can't listen to the crowd. Watch Sting. Sting is not the best worker in the world, but Sting knows when to work, when to do something. He's 62 years old now, and he's not just getting reactions because he's Sting. He's getting reactions because he knows when to be Sting. Like, you don't have to be Sting the entire time. Let Darby do a stupid shit, then be Sting. I don't know, CM Punk, same thing. It took him a second. Those first, I ain't gonna lie, listen, everybody that says, oh, CM Punk came back and it was awesome. Those first couple matches, man, they're rough. They're rough. He had his moments. The good spots came off good, but they were rough. I think he would have said the same thing. It just happens when you haven't been in the ring. It's a different game. It's almost 10 years for him. But he's catching a stride again, and that was smart booking on them to get him a few matches under his belt with really good guys to have competitive matches. I mean, even storyline-wise, that makes sense to me. A guy on top comes back, new guys, new generation, different ball game. Yes, he can still win, but he needs to figure out a way to win. I get that. That was a great storytelling, even if they didn't mean to. But when he gets up there for these championship matches and these main event matches, he'll be ready to go. And whenever they have their next really big AEW, what is it, All Out or whatever show? I don't know what their main event is. What's their main?
I think the next one's like Revolution. I don't know what the hell.
Well, whatever their main thing is, I don't know what.
Double or Nothing.
Double, yeah. All or Nothing. Yeah, whatever it is. But yeah, man, I mean, I think that, listen, we can get up here and we can bitch about wrestling or any industry all we want. Wrestling is subjective, and this is why I always got upset about people getting upset with me. wrestling, your type of wrestling is not my type of wrestling. I mean, me and you'd like different types of wrestling. We like some of the same, but we like different stuff. Like, I mean, you might like rock movies. I might like Denzel Washington movies. You know, it doesn't. Like, it's all an opinion. Yeah, it doesn't give a shit. Like who you like, right? And there's some actors we might like the same. We might like the same actor, but not like the same show they're in or who they're playing. It doesn't matter, man. Like, at the end of the day, what makes money? Vince McMahon and Tony Khan make money. I don't know about the rest of you guys. You guys get paid by them. And then you look at the guys that are making money without that brand. There's only a few. John Cena, Dwayne Johnson, Batista. Am I missing one? No. Okay, there's 3 guys that have made it above the brand. Before that.
Actually, I would argue to say Jericho.
Well, I was about to say, so Hulk Hogan, yeah, you could put Jericho in his own category. He's not as big, but he did Fozzy in the podcasting, so I'll give that to him. Then before that, Hogan, Piper, barely, Ventura. But these are all short-lived. Hogan's the only one to be Hogan and Flair above the brand, built the brand above the brand.
Savage?
Yeah, if he wouldn't have died.
I even think before he died.
No,
I
because
think it was the persona.
yeah, but
The persona was bigger than the brand, not necessarily.
he went away though. Like if he never would have went away, like even old man Whitebeard,
Yeah.
Macho Man, like he was still cutting promos there towards the end. He'd have been awesome. You know, if the Ultimate Warrior was alive right now, he'd be big. Not big in movies, big in that type of stuff. I think he'd be involved in WWE as like an ambassador. He would have a podcast. He just missed it. 2014, he was just getting his YouTube channel going. He just missed it. He'd probably be doing like motivational speaking, podcasting, having guys on, telling his side of the story.
Getting canceled.
Yeah, definitely getting canceled. Damn sure getting canceled. Yeah, so I'd have loved to have known what he'd have said after all that came out about me. That'd been awesome. He'd have had my back for sure. But yeah, man, that's about it.
Yeah.
Not many more.
I don't know where else we could go with it other than, you know, my personal opinion is that WWE, from a strictly business view, take all of it away. Think of it as, I've always said this about college football, you're just a number and a position. That's all you are. So they've got you for 4 to 5 years, some less than that. So they know that no matter at the end of that 5 years, however good you were, whatever, on year 6 or year 5, that number and that position is still going to be there. It's just not going to be your name. So how can we make somebody as close to you as possible? So WWE, the same thing. You're just a number and you're a position. That's why they're not afraid to fire people so quick, and they're not afraid to cut ties, and they don't care. At AEW, they're making it more of a family-based company, player, coach style. That's only going to work for so long, and then it's going to hurt them a little bit. I think, you know, the perception hurts WWE, but they don't care. They make the money. The perception doesn't hurt AEW. It helps them, but it's not going to drive the revenue. So at the end of the day, it's all about the dollar bill, y'all.
That's the most we've talked about wrestling in a while.
It's called Sting came in here, man.
Yep.
It is what it is. But that's all I have. I want to go watch Batman with you.
Yeah. We will see it when it comes out.
I want to go watch Jurassic World with you.
Yeah.
Or is that what it's called?
Jurassic World Dominion.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a subtitle.
And we need to, I guess, see what else comes. We will review Batman because
100%.
I was so hard on it, but also I'm so excited about it. So
I would love the total like 360, 180 that you do, because I have a feeling like the more I've sat and thought about it, I'm thinking this is going to be a good one.
Listen, man, I am
After the Joker, they're going to have to step up the game.
I
if it
think
isn't.
if people haven't figured this out about me yet, I don't know what you're listening to. I am extremely open-minded about things. Like, I am not just dead set on one way of doing something. I will listen. I will try it. And if it is good, I will say it was good. If there's aspects I don't like, I'll say that too. I'll give you an honest review for sure. I'm a huge Batman fan. That's my favorite superhero. Why? Because he doesn't have superpowers. He's just rich. It's the closest superhero that I can be. Okay?
Okay.
So-
Okay. Real quick. There's an IMAX showing 3 days before it comes out. I'm buying my ticket right now. It's on the 1st.
What day is that?
It's a Tuesday. Oh my God, it's already filled.
Here?
Yeah. There is no good seats. So never mind. We'll see it on a Thursday or something.
Yeah. Okay. So here's my new schedule. Just to let you know. So Tia's in Nashville now, right?
Yeah.
She's coming home Tuesday nights,
Okay.
working from home Wednesday, leaving Thursday morning.
Gotcha.
So when you're talking about movies moving forward, just keep that
Okay.
in mind. Tuesdays and Wednesdays tough for me.
Okay.
Monday, Thursdays, I'm all in.
Okay.
I'm all
So
in on
we'll shoot for that Thursday.
Monday, Thursday.
Maybe
movies.
before a podcast, and we come in here, shoot the review first, and then a
Hey.
podcast.
Maybe we do the first vlog, like going to the theater, at the movie,
Sure.
and just hit the review straight up walking out of the theater.
Do we do a car review
Yeah.
like they used to?
Well, we just do it like play the video, and we'll just start reviewing on our way to the car, and just keep it going. Like
Yeah.
we'll just start it as the movie's
sure.
ending.
Why not?
Be different. I don't know if anybody does that.
I don't know if anybody does that anymore. I would be 100% down for that.
Yeah, let's do that.
Let's do it.
All right, that's all I've got. What episode was this?
96.
96.
We're gonna have to get Tia in here. At some
I
point.
know.
What are we
Number
doing
100,
on
right?
Episode 100.
Do what?
What are we doing on episode 100?
Well, we was going to do me and Tia, but now with her schedule, I don't know if that's going to happen. So what we could do is we could do like a celebratory to it, like a celebration type thing. We could do me, you, and Chris,
Oh
We
God.
should.
and Ethan, and we'll do another Get Canceled podcast.
Get Gary Lamb up here.
We'll name the podcast
Cancel us.
Cancel Us.
It's gonna be the South Park of all of our episodes.
We'll literally say we're going to touch on every subject to get canceled. Please watch this and cancel us. We'll get the most views we've ever had in the studio, I promise you.
Let's do it.
Literally,
God.
we might get the most views we've ever had in total
Ever.
Ever.
So that'd be cool. Yeah, we'll just cancel ourselves,
Yeah, why not?
and then we'll just come back the next weekend, because it's y'all's
We're just
studio.
gonna-
You can
yeah.
just do whatever we want to,
Yeah, nobody can take us out of our own studio.
and you can't cancel. I mean, I guess you could cancel a YouTube channel, but you can't cancel GunnerMiller.com, and we got that shit too, bitches. I own that shit. So we'll
So
just,
you want to go through the whole rigmarole right now?
yeah, we'll just run. We'll just put the videos up on the website,
Fuck it.
and I'll just go after advertisement. The fuck you do that? That's just beating the system, right?
Yeah. That's
What's
the
the
Alex Jones way.
I mean, that's what you do, right?
Yeah.
You just say, hey, go to my website. Watch this video. What's the website? My name, bitch. GunnerMiller.com, bitch. .com.
I was about to say. I need you to do that.
GunnerMillerBitch.com.
Jeez. We need to probably get that domain.
You probably need to buy that one.
All right, well, that's it. Episode 96. It was fun. We're sponsored by Rain, not yet, but in the future, by the time you listen to this, we're probably sponsored by them.
We're gonna try and get sponsored before we get canceled, so they'll
Yeah.
cancel
Listen,
us.
They
They'll
should
cancel
sponsor
it.
me. Like $9. Dude, I drink like 2 of these a day. Y'all should sponsor me. Like I don't get paid for this shit. Like this is the best energy drink on the market. I've had them all. Orange Dreamsicle, promise you, by far the best one. If it wasn't, I wouldn't keep buying it. I want to drink the rock shit. Trust me, I do. All right, this one's better. Sorry, sorry, Dwayne. He's got an orange one that's close. It's strong too.
Okay.
All right, as far as orange goes, there's also one called 3D. It's orange. It's like strong 2B.
Okay.
God, this one it's not even close.
All right. Let's get out.
All right, subscribe, like, comment, cancel, do all the stuff you got to do, and then we'll see you next Thursday, whether you cancel us or not. Right? CNN, fake news, Fox News, go all right, be right. Don't be racist, but if you are, do it the right way. Okay. All right, we'll see you later. Bye.